All right, what's up? Good morning, man. Let's talk this boxing this morning, man. What's going on, Viva Tu Vida? What's going on, Dwayne Jones, man? Blessings to Atlanta, man. Shout out to Viva Tu Vida. We're going to continue the conversation. Michael Kirkland, what's good, man? Got my people in the building right away, man. What's going on, man? Hope you guys had a good night's sleep. Good morning. Start the week off, man. If I'm talking to you while you are on your way to work, man, I hope you have a good day at work, all of that. Ken Gray in the building. What's going on, man? I'm just sitting here enjoying this fine fare. What's going on, Adrian Vent in the building? What's happening, man? Enjoying my cup of Joe, man. Looking at all this stuff going on with a fight that I don't think is ever gonna happen, man. And y'all let me know, man. Do you really think what's going on, Big Block? Big Block, infamous JS in the building. What's going on from the UK? Shout out to the UK. Man, I had a good conversation yesterday, man, with some dudes from the UK on Twitter. I love busting cats out, man, about UK American boxing, man. Honestly, man, I'm starting to change my opinion about UK fight fans, the ones that, are all super duper pro UK boxing fans. Because you guys make stuff pretty fun. Like busting y'all out on the same argument over and over again, man, it's kind of fun, man. I had a conversation on Twitter with some guys that it just swear to goodness, man, that the United States is not elite. Like, we are not elite in boxing. Like they used to be elite. They're not elite anymore. We're elite. We're like, man, are you nuts? You got 4 champions, and we have got 16. 16 at last count. Excuse me. Gervonta Davis vacated the belt, so we're down to 15 because Gervonta vacated. But he holds 2 other garbage-ass belts, so wrap them together and give us Gervonta. He who greets with fire in the building. What's going on, man? Miguel Orama, what's happening with you, man? Infamous JS said, I'm more pro-American. Well, look, man. Look, if you really like top-notch boxing, I don't really see how you can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how you can't be. You're going to be pro if you're going to watch a lot of Americans and you're going to watch a lot of Mexicans. If you're really watching top-notch boxing. And sometimes I ain't that, Mexicans got a different style, a different way about themselves, but they got a lot of seriously world-class fighters in Mexico. In the United States, dude, we keep between like 14 and 18 world champions. And the UK keeps about 2, keeps between 2 to 4 of them. 2 to 4 of them at any given time, man. If the UK gets 10 world champions ever, I'll be shocked. They will never in your lifetime do you have to expect the United Kingdom. And I'm telling you, give them regular Ireland too, not just Northern Ireland. You can put that whole peninsula together. You're not getting 10. They're never going to have 10 world champions at the same time, man. So, they'll get a big name fighter and one that a lot of people are, jacked up about. But they're never going to have that many chances. They don't have that many. And so yesterday, man, let me skip to the subject, man. Davison Andrade said, Teo trying to promote himself, but Devin just wants to fight, so it's real on Devin's part. Oh, yeah, I absolutely believe it's real on Devin's part. Teofimo, thanks, Ken. Teofimo on the other side? Man, that dude is going to 140. Man, that dude ain't never seen Devin. I don't believe that shit for nothing. I don't believe him for nothing. Don't believe him for nothing, man. Don't believe him. And because he's already said what he wanted to do. So thanks, Ken. Yeah, so I don't understand that. Like you just said in an interview last week, you're trying to fight Josh Taylor at 140 pounds. That's your next fight, man. So what is all this stuff? What is all this stuff about you trying to fight? Like Devin, hey, so I'll fight you. Show up to the meeting. Look, man, just say the truth, man, that you about to go try to fight Josh Taylor. And say it to the man's face. Don't lie. No need to lie. Infamous JS said, who's your top 10 in boxing right now? Top 10 in no particular order, and I haven't thought about it enough to like give you a list or whatever, but Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, Jermell Charlo, Canelo Alvarez, I gotta throw Canelo. I'm sick of this doping shit. I'm serious, man. I'm tired of making an asterisk for Canelo. Okay, everybody know Canelo on juice, all right? And I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm just tired of it. I think these dudes are wearing me down, man. These dudes have worn me down on Canelo. Look, so top 10 fighters. I'll put Canelo in there. Errol, Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, Josh Taylor, Jermell Charlo, Teofimo Lopez, in the little man realm. Oh, in the heavyweights, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. And then in the little man realm, give me Monster Inoue and give me that little Ray Martinez dude. I think that's a good shot at it, because I don't want to ignore the little midgets. You know what I mean? I have a tendency to ignore midget boxing. So, and that's anything below 118. I don't usually mess with. But with this kid Ray Martinez out of Mexico, man, that's one of my favorite fighters. Now, I'm not gonna say he's one of the best, but that's my guy, man. I like him, man. Andrew Gray said, yeah, the U.S. has the most easy, keeps the most, which is what I don't understand, man. It's like, do you all just sit down and look at who the champions are? Like, go through the weight classes and actually look and see, who really does have the most champions? Who really do have the best fighters? Because, man, and then my man, somebody was responding to me. He's like, yeah, but they locked down the heavyweight division. I'm like, man, they didn't lock down the heavyweight. They have not locked down the heavyweight division, because they just lost 3 out of the 4. They literally just lost 3 out of 4 belts at heavyweight. And people, they don't even recall that. It's like it doesn't even enter into their mind. You just lost 3 out of 4 belts. Just lost 3 out of 4 belts to the Ukraine. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Let Vasily in a couple months. Jamal, I don't know, man. I mean, I say Jermell over Jamal. I left Demetrius Andrade off. Jamal kind of pissed me off because he ain't trying to fight Demetrius Andrade. I mean, I don't buy that shit, man. Seriously. I don't buy it. That dude's got a championship belt over there. He's got the WBO. You got the WBC. It's a unification, man. Make it happen. That's my thing. Ghost Bomb Squad in the building says, salute Fannon and family. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody this fine morning. Aunt G said, give Canelo his credit. I gave his credit. Yeah, Inoue is the top guy under 18. Now that Rigondeaux kind of is out, I think Monster Inoue probably is the top guy of all the midgets. He's like the number 1 midget. And I'll give it to him. You know what I mean? I'll give it, because Monster Inoue can fight, man. Not boots yet. Not boots yet. I'm saving boots for a glorious moment when he lay that ass whipping on somebody you don't like. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm waiting on. Ride a Prophet B1 said, blessings, King. Keep up the good commentary, man. Thank you so much for your support in that super chat. Thank you very much, man. And I will get up every morning and love and talking. But man, this literally is the best part of my day, man. Absolutely, because I had to take some time off. Work. I'll probably try to get back to work probably in a month. But I've been taking some time off work for health reasons. So, you guys really, really are like, I wake up, man, you guys make my day, man. You guys absolutely positively would make my day. Viva 2Vita said, I like Estrada. Yeah, I like Estrada too. I like Estrada. Yeah, but I think Monster Inoue I think it's fair to say Monster Inoue is the top guy down there. Now that Rigondeaux showed his age sufficiently to me to remove Rigondeaux. But Rigondeaux's now I'm waiting on him getting in the Hall of Fame category, because he's over 40. You know how it go, man. King Los in the building said, facts, Andrade and Charlo both don't have a big fight to make this so make this happen. Yeah, man, make the fight happen, man. Or with Gennady Golovkin, you know what I mean? Or with Gennady Golovkin need to shit or get off the pot too, because he ain't done nothing in a minute either, man. Gennady Golovkin, I don't know why ain't Gennady. I have no idea why Gennady Golovkin is not fighting, man. Gennady Golovkin ain't fought since the pandemic, man. But at least they got him out of the top 10 pound for pound, man. Ghost Bomb Squad said, Fannon, have you been following David Morrell Jr., 168 pound, got a WBA regular in 4 fights, amazing prospect, 23, Cuban amateur, won every tournament he was in, even against Julio Cesar La Cruz? No, man, you hooking me up with that one. Does the bar boxing, man. Hey, man, you got to see more. That's the first time I've ever seen you. It's the first time I've ever seen you does the bar boxing. It's literally the first time I've ever seen you. Least that I can remember. So we'll see what's going on a little later on down the line, man. He said GGG fights at the end of December against Murat. Okay, let's see. All right, get on back, man. Then they need to fight each other, man. But back to this Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. First of all, let me announce to you that I'm more of a fan of Devin Haney now than I was before. I believe Devin Haney when Devin Haney say he want to fight these guys. And Jojo Diaz, that's going to be a very interesting fight if that actually happens, man. Dust the Bar says, switch my name. I'm sorry, my fault. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, cool, man. Well, what was your name before? Nana saw, I ain't going to do all that, dog. He said, it looks like some of the fighters are more interested in the most lucrative fights at reasonable risk of loss rather than the fights that would be the most competitive. Oh, you think so? Yeah, that's the name of the day, man. That's absolutely the name of the day. I mean, Gervonta, but Jamal Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade, that shit should be made, man. That should be made, dude. That would be a really, really good fight, but they have history. And that's why I'm saying, man, honestly, man, the Charlos rub me the wrong way on that, man. They rubbing me the more I listen to them, the more they rub me the wrong way. You know, like first of all, Jamal, that was Jamel's problem with Demetrius Andrade, not Jamal's. So Jamal, go beat the dude up. Get the money, beat the dude up. Let's see a good fight. You know what I mean? And then Jamel calling fans broke asses. It's like, man, you kidding me, dude? We in the middle of a pandemic and you run around talking about people being broke. Hell yeah, there's a lot of people that are a whole lot of broke people, man. A lot of broke people that are your fans too, by the way. How about you appreciate it, man? Kimber 5409 said, Fannon, all this posturing in boxing with the top fighters not fighting each other when they try to make an easy fight, and then you have you have what happened to Garcia this weekend. Yeah, I'm laughing. I'm laughing, dog, on that. No joke, dog. I'm laughing on that shit. He should, man, but that's not, honestly though, that's not Mikey Garcia's fault. I put that shit on Eddie Hearn because they wouldn't put the money up for the Regis Prograis fight. And Mikey said he still wants a Regis Prograis fight. He's like, man, I still want it. Like, I'm gonna move, and it's cool. It don't matter. He can move on and have another fight after he lost that garbage ass fight. He's like Yuriokas Gamboa. Yuriokas Gamboa lost to what's my name? Robinson Castellano. He lost to Robinson Castellano. And just kept it on pushing. Just kept on pushing, you know what I mean? And that's what I think he's gonna wind up doing. He's just gonna wind up keep on pushing, man. Keep on pushing, man. Fannon, the guy is 23 and has hand speed. Fastest feet at 168 is next up. No doubt about it. His skill set on a different planet. It's crazy. Dude called out Canelo in his 4th fight. He's a Cuban. It's a Cuban. I got to check him out. I'll check him out for sure, man. No doubt about it, dog. I'll check him out. Hey, man, hit the like button as y'all slowly walk in the door. I know I come on at 8 o'clock, so you guys slowly creep in the door. But as you slowly creep in the door, slowly wipe your feet on the like button. Please, if you would not mind, man. He said King O's facts. He's like Rigo at 168 with 1 punch power, 12-round cardio and hand speed. Punch was. I like that you put in that 12-round cardio. Like I wish Deontay Wilder had. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Deontay Wilder's conditioning did not look good in that last fight, man. He was gassed quickly, man. He said David Morrell, Fannon, David Morrell's the truth. That's what's up. I'm going to check him out, man. Especially if he's a Cuban fighter. Who's he fighting with? Is he like a PBC fighter? Is he a PBC fighter? Is he a top-ranked fighter? Let me know, because I've seen the name. But he's only got 4 fights? That's probably why I'm not hip on him, man. Ghost Bomb Squad said, Fannon, he's Cuban. I'll send you tapes on him on IG later. He is labeled the best Cuban talent since the great Rigo himself. Oh, he's okay, that's what's up. Dave Morrell, because people have mentioned the name, but I wouldn't have thought Moray, is it Moray? Tell me how to pronounce it. Is it the W-Y? The double L turns to a Y? King Lo said David Morrell or Moray. Is it Moray? David Moray has a deep amateur background like Loma. I believe he was like 168-1. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you this right now. If he's anything like that Cuban that Keyshawn Davis fought in the finals, man, I ain't really all the way up to date on amateur boxing. But, man, I'm telling you, dog, that dude right there got some crazy ass footwork, man. That boy can fight, dog. Said Benavidez talks about Morrell. Okay, hey, man. Well, I'm going to get on him, man. I'm going to get on him. It's the same gay dude, man. You're the same gay dude, dog. You're the same sweetie pie. All right? Mwah. You like that? Does that make you feel better? Mwah. You want me to blow kisses at you, sissy? Man, kick rocks, man. I ain't never seen a nigga uglier than you. You look like your... Man, you the same little light-skinned dude that keeps following me around calling me ugly, man. I don't even want to block you, dog. Just stay. Just stay, dog. Man, you are hilarious, man. I swear to God, man. Jeffrey Brooks said, have you heard about Wilder firing his training? I think you should get either Bomac or Derek James. What do you think? I didn't hear anything. Much love in that super chat, man. I didn't hear anything about him firing his trainer, man. But I'm going to tell you who I would hire if I was him. I would hire Derek James. Derek James's breakdown of Deontay Wilder on an interview that I saw was absolutely excellent, man. Absolutely excellent, dog. I would say go to Derek James. Derek James is a fundamental, just like an anal retentive fundamental type dude. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Deontay Wilder really needs. He really needs, like, I don't like how he holds his elbows out either like this. Because whatever he's doing, it's like when he gets tired, he starts holding his hands like this. Anyway, it is what it is, man. Asur Imkaz said, what kind of weird energy? I'm trying to tell you, man, I got boy fans, dog. I'm telling you. But just stick around, dog. You good. Honestly, man, as I know where you're coming from, you're good for the ego, dog. I appreciate you, man. Ghost Bomb Squad said the Fannon, the Cuban who fought Keyshawn in the amateurs, Andy Cruz, is basic next to this guy. He fought against Julio Cesar La Cruz, was crazy. He made Julio look normal. 2-time gold medalist, normal. All right, man. Well, you got me on David Morrell. I am going to be watching his fights. I'm going to watch his fights today. I'm going to try to make sure I get down because I don't want to miss no really good Cubans. Because I certainly hope he gets it. But at 168, 170, so he'll be like 168. How old is he? Is he like an older defected Cuban that defected, or is he a younger guy? Because you know what I mean? I'd be interested. He's 160. If he's got a record of 168-1, then he's been around for a while. Right? Is that right? 168. Would that mean he's around for a while? My man King Los said, I want to see Berlanga and Morrell because they're both up and coming. Even if Berlanga loses, it'll help him in the future. Yeah, man. Hey, don't nobody say nothing bad about Berlanga, man. I like Berlanga, and I need a Puerto Rican to root for. I ain't lying, dog. I need a Puerto Rican to lose. I need a Puerto Rican to root for. Because right now, man, the Puerto Ricans, they usually keep a good one or two. You know what I mean? They usually keep a good one or two. But right now, I don't really see them. I don't see the Cubans really having. I don't really see them. I mean, the Cubans got more than Puerto Ricans. So don't mess with Berlanga around me, dog. I'm hoping that Berlanga does well because I steady ever since there's been Tito Trinidad. I try to make sure I root for at least one Cuban. I mean, at least one Puerto Rican, man. Puerto Ricans are fun, man. I like Puerto Ricans, man. I forgot when I said my favorite female fighters yesterday on Twitter. I forgot Serrano, Amanda Serrano. And I like me some Amanda Serrano. As a person, I like Amanda Serrano. Sur Mk said, that's that boy. That's a wild boy. David Benavidez is pound for pound, and Jerron Ennis is right after. Yeah, hey, man, that's Man, David Benavidez. David Benavidez. Come on, brother. Get your shit together. David Benavidez need to get his shit together. He said Morrell will beat the ish out of Berlanga. Man, look, man, I'm trying to tell you, I don't talk about Berlanga bad. I know Berlanga ain't the best fighter in the world. I know it. Okay, I know it, but I'm rooting for that kid, man. I'm rooting for him. And ain't nothing gonna change my mind, dog. You get knocked out, I'm still gonna be Team Berlanga. Because I like the kid, man. I met some people in his camp. Really nice, real nice people. And I don't know if you seen his girlfriend. Wow. And I don't usually do too much of that shit. Yeah, Berlanga, he say Berlanga trash, man. Hey, man, his girlfriend is on another planet, dog. Like, I was like, what the fuck is that? Good job, Berlanga. I shouldn't have said that because my wife, I swore that off because I'm the only woman I ever want to get in my life is my wifey. But Berlanga's girlfriend, I just got to give him an honorary, credit for that one. Like, damn, dude, you pulled that one out, didn't you? What's Bomb Squad? I keep reading you, Bomb Squad. Hold on, man. Let me make sure I get this super chat, man. Okay, Asaram M. Ka. Yeah, that's a wild boy. David Benavidez is pound for pound, and Geron. Oh, you know what, man? I forgot David Benavidez when I gave my top fivers. Yeah, David Benavidez, man. David Benavidez is nice, man. Real nice, man. You really think Derek James is a better trainer than Bomac? I think it's different. I think it's different. I think they're different. But I would say if I was going to give my son to somebody to fight, like I would give him to Derek James. Because Derek James is very much about the fundamentals, man. You know what I mean? Peace and peace out said, OG, I fuck with you. That's real. Hey, I'm just, what's that you talking about, man? Peace and peace out. You talking about Berlanga? I fucks with Berlanga. I reserve the right to be a boxing fan. I reserve the right to be a boxing fan, man. I can like a fighter that sucks, and I don't care. And I don't think he sucks, but I like Berlanga, man. You ain't gonna hear me talking bad about Berlanga, man. Romero Harris said, man, just here to support. Had a wrench over 2 years, sure not what happened, but still here for the fire content. Oh, you got one now, homie. Hold on, man. What happened was, I'll tell you what happened, dog. I'll tell you what happened. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'll tell you what happened, dog. I got on some medicine because I got sick. I got on some medicine, and that medicine sent me to another fucking planet, bro. So I wound up having to go to the hospital because of this medication that I was taking. And as a result, dude, in the middle of it, man, I got rid of a bunch of wrenches, dog. I got paranoid, and I got rid of a bunch of fucking wrenches. Romero Harris, there you go. So that's why I took that break, man. Because I had high blood pressure, I had health problems, and then they put me on some medicine, and they put me on this like painkillers and stuff. And that shit fucked me up really bad. So in the midst of it, I got on and I just got rid of all my wrenches. Because there was some dude running around putting like pictures of my belly on the screen and all kind of stuff. So anyway, man, my apologies to anybody that had a wrench that got their wrench removed. So I'm definitely back to giving you your wrenches back. But I appreciate you, Romero Harris, and I'm sorry for anybody that I offended in that regard, man. So Bomac too fat for my liking. Hey, man. Hey, Bomac knows boxing though, man. Hey, Division D said, how you been, Fannon? How you been, OG? Man, I've been good, man. I can't complain, man. Life is good, man. You know what I mean? Russ said, I'm glad you back and doing well. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. And Giovanni Walker said, what time does your live morning chat start? It starts at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. like clockwork, dog. 8 a.m. like the clockwork. Lawrence RB said, Fannon, Joey Scott addressed Wilder's conditioning. It wouldn't have mattered who was training Wilder's equilibrium was off because Fury hit him in the soft spot with a shot to the ear. Yeah, that's the same spot that he had that dented him. You know what I mean? But no, man, seriously. Said, I'm not late to the party. And no, man, you right here, man. We talking this boxing. You ain't long. Broderick Hunter said, you came back strong. Thank you, man. Yeah, just had to jump back on the bicycle. And I'm glad, man. And I still got pretty much everybody supporting me that was supporting me before. It's always a good feeling, man. I appreciate y'all, man. If you hit the bell, young notification when he goes live, yeah, man, hit that bell so you get the notification, man. Curtis Bridges said, Fannon, salute, bro. Always good to talk some boxing with you, man. Salute to the chat too, man. Yes, absolutely, man. Salute to the chat. But back on the Teofimo Lopez. Giovanni Walker said, give me my wrench. All right, here you go, Giovanni. Yeah, because I remember you too. All right, there you go, man. Moderated up here, man. You're moderated. Willis Parker said, do you think Tank versus Raleigh pay-per-view will be a career high for Tank's numbers? Wow, great question, man. I think so. Because Raleigh Romero is going to sell it. Raleigh Romero is going to sell that fight, man. There's going to be a lot of drama, but, it's not going to be as good as, you know what I mean? Fahim Sator said, hey, I feel special and never lost my wrench. Thanks. Yeah. Now, you lost it for a second. But the second I saw you, I was like, damn, let me get Fahim his wrench back. I ain't seen Blood Boxing. Blood Boxing ain't been on my channel forever, but if Blood, who probably listening, if Blood ever pops up, I'm going to get Blood Boxing his wrench back too. I don't care, and because that's my guy, man. Y'all my guys. Y'all used to fight all the damn time, but y'all my guys, man. But I don't, man. Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna do well, man. Look, man, Tank's a star. Oh, John Mavel said, not me, never lost it. That's what's up. Said, look, he said, yeah, oh yeah, Fannon wrenched most of his first stream back. Yeah, I made sure y'all got y'all stuff back. Look, man, Gervonta Davis is a star, man. And quite honestly, dog, said Blood somewhere hating on Floyd, man. Blood is listening right now, dog. I promise you. Man, Tank is a star, man. People can like everybody else in lightweight is pretending, and I'm sorry, man. I ain't talking bad about nobody. I'm not saying I'm not trying to be bad. I'm not dumping on nobody, but everybody else is up and coming. Teofimo Lopez is up and coming. Devin Haney is up and coming. Ryan Garcia is up and coming. All those guys are up and coming, dog. Gervonta Davis is the only one in that entire group that is really a proven attraction. Devin Haney fights on DAZN, so you don't know what his numbers are. And that's not hating on Devin. That's just telling you what the truth is. Now, Devin is getting good money. He's getting paid well from everything that I can see, and I'm very, very happy for him. But you don't know really if he's an attraction or not. You know what I mean? Like that. He is to hardcore fans. Like, I'm a fan of Devin Haney, but I can't say that, but same thing with Teofimo Lopez. It's the take. He should say it's the taking over. Because, dog, you ain't fought since you had Lomachenko. You were basically he was the number 2 fighter in his last fight against Vasily Lomachenko. We don't know how that's going to transition over moving forward. We just don't know. But Tank has already been on multiple pay-per-views. He holds his own on his own pay-per-views. He holds his own on his own ticket sales, featuring, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Brooks, who you got winning Devin Haney versus Lopez? I lean towards a big case of I don't know. But if I had to pick it, if I had to put my money down, I think I might go with the better defensive fighter in Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney may be able to outpoint him. Because if Tank can't catch up to him, if Teofimo Lopez can't catch up to him, then I'm going to go. Then I'm going with I'm going to go with Devin Haney. That's kind of where I am. If you ask me tomorrow, that may change. Because I haven't seen, I know what Devin Haney brings to the table. And that shit ain't easy to beat. I don't care what anybody says. It ain't going to be easy to catch that at all. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be easy to catch up with him. So I just really believe, and man, Jeffrey Brooks, thank you so much for the support. So I got to, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I am with that. But I'm telling you, it may change next week with the two of them. Because it's a close fight. It's a close fight. What's up, J.D. Brownson? What's up, Fannon? Is there any truth to the rumor of Eddie Reynoso training Anthony Joshua? I hope so. I hope so. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me back up one. Michael Kirkland said, do you give Herring a chance against Stevenson? No. Not a big one. Not a big one. I think it's just, I think that's a different level fighter, man. I think those are two different level fighters, man. In my humble opinion. I think Shakur Stevenson about to show up. He's about to show up and show out. That's what I think. And it's going to be very, very hard. Very, very, very hard on Jamel Herring to lay a glove on that boy if that boy don't want to get a glove laid on him. So that's kind of where I am. The southpaw stance, just the hand speed, the amateur pedigree, the fact that the dude can fight on the inside a little bit too. I'll take Shakur Stevenson, man. You know what I mean? It's a talent thing. It's a talent thing. I like Jamel Herring, even though Jamel Herring don't like me. I like Jamel Herring as a person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really, really happy for him as a fighter, having gotten a lot of shots and all that. But I don't know, man. I can't see him beating that. I can't see him beating him. And honestly, I don't think it's that good a fight. I think he's just. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get mopped, though, because he's tough. You know, and he's tough. But it's going to be interesting, man. It'll be interesting. I just think that they're two different talent levels of fighters, man. But as far as the rumor with Eddie Reynoso training Anthony Joshua, man, Anthony Joshua would have to relocate to the United States. But maybe he could. He's got enough money. You know, he'd buy a house in the United States and trade with Eddie Reynoso. I think it'd be good for him. But I think he needs a heart transplant, man. He needs a heart transplant, man. He's too nice. Like, too nice. too much like, you know, too in his head, man. He's too much in his head. He got to go out there and try to beat up Alexander Usyk, man. Got to try to beat that dude up. And it's going to be tough for him to get there. It's going to be tough, man. You know what I mean? King Lo said, Teo proved he can beat top competition. Haney hasn't yet. Yeah, he did it once. Yeah, he did. He did. He did. But I'm still not, I'm still not all the way there, dog, on it. Still not all the way there on it, bro. I ain't all the way in there on it, man. On Teofimo. He's going to have to keep fighting, man. That's all I can say. Teofimo Lopez most definitely going to have to keep fighting, man. You know what I mean? Swerve OSO PGH 12 said, Fannon the Truth. Thank you, man. Curtis Bridger said, do you think Herring will win more than 2-3 rounds? Top Shakur Stevenson is another level for sure. Much respect to both fighters. That's what I'm saying. I think I don't know, man. I can't see Herring. I just can't see Herring winning that fight. I'm just going to be dead honest with you, bro. I cannot see Herring winning that fight, man. I cannot see it, man. I cannot see it. And if it happens, I will be very, 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 very surprised, man. I mean, it's not quite to the level of Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero, because I think that Jamel Herring is a real fighter, and I don't necessarily think that about Rolly Romero. I think Rolly Romero is just going to get mopped. I think that's almost like a joke. Like, I think that's a mismatch. I don't know if it's quite a mismatch or not, but I just can't see it, man. I can't see him pulling it off. I don't know how he would. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing I've seen from Jamel Herring that would tell me he's going to give Shakur Stevenson any problems. You know? Like, yeah, I just don't see it, man. That's not Carl Frampton, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not Carl Frampton that he's dealing with. He's dealing with somebody that is a for real fighter right there. Dwayne Kane Sr. said, Tank Davis is being promoted well. Haney isn't. There's no one on Tank's record we didn't know Tank was going to beat or knock out. In my opinion, Tank really hasn't fought no one yet. Yeah, he did. He fought Jose Pedraza when he came up in 130. Yeah, he did. Jose Pedraza. That was for me, and he mopped Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza was the best guy at 130 when Tank fought him, in my opinion. Tank came out big time for me. He came out tough. He came out tough against Jose Pedraza. But I do agree that, yeah, for certain, he ain't fought the best comp. He's on that Mayweather plan, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Leo Santa Cruz is a good win too. There you go. Leo Santa Cruz is a good win. Leo Santa Cruz and Jose Pedraza. Those, I agree. Those are really good wins. Those are very good wins for Gervonta Davis. But when I'm saying that, when somebody talking about being a big name fighter and all that, Gervonta Davis is the only guy down there that has really proven he's a big name fighter. That's all I'm saying. And that's literally is no disrespect to anybody else. And I hope these guys, that's why these guys should fight one another. But until I hear Bob Arum talking about Devin Haney fighting Teofimo Lopez, I'm not believing it. It's not that I don't believe it from Devin Haney's point of view. I don't believe it from Teofimo Lopez. Like when all that Gary Russell Jr. Devin Haney stuff is, I never thought that fight was going to pop off. But I thought that shit was mainly just two different weight classes, the amount of money, the timing, all of that stuff. There's so much stuff that had to come together for that. But with this, I'm just like, nah, because I don't believe Top Rank's going to do it. Because Teofimo Lopez can lose that fight, man. Teofimo Lopez can win that fight. Somebody said Mario Barrios after jumping 2 weight classes. That's fire. Yeah, that's a pretty good win. I mean, yeah, Mario Barrios is a solid win. It is. That's not a bad fight, man. It's not a bad fight. But because Mario Barrios is a good fighter, no doubt about it. He's not the top 140, but he's a good fighter. I agree with that. You know what I mean? I like Tank, man. You're not gonna get me shitting on Tank, dog. I like Tank. I like Tank a lot. I really do. I like all these guys, man. Tio kind of get on my nerve, but that's more his fan base than anybody else. You know what I mean? But but Raleigh now, yeah, they're feeding him Raleigh. They're feeding him Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? They're feeding him Raleigh, man. JD Brown said Gary Russell Jr. is a fighter that needs to fight somebody. He been talking, but no fights. Hey, man, what you going to say, man? We'll see. He's fighting about, he already know who he's going to fight next. He's fighting Mark Magsayo. Talking about, we already know his next fight. He's fighting Mark Magsayo, the Filipino guy, Mark Magsayo. That's going to be Gary Russell Jr.'s next fight. Already locked down. The WBC ordered it, and he's going to beat up Mark Magsayo. He's going to beat up Mark Magsayo. I don't know why they feed Mark Magsayo to that boy. Mark Magsayo, if I win this fight, I want the Gary Russell. And then he got it. And now that's going to be a wrap. You know what I mean? Brig Johnson said, Fannon, who is Mikey Garcia's next fight? Regis Prograis. Go ahead and get with Regis. It ain't going to make no difference that Mikey Garcia lost to that guy. Everybody will forget about it in a second, man. They'll forget about it. Just make the fight, man. Just make the Mikey Garcia, Regis Prograis fight and act like that fight this weekend didn't happen. You know? He who greets with fire in the building. Man, does he got that? He got his wrench, right? He who greets with fire. Hold on, man. I know who he greets. He who greets with fire. Yeah, I had to check, make sure you was right, man. He said, Fannon, okay, I got that one. Yeah, Raleigh is good Twitter follow too. He's a character. Yeah, he's funny, man. He's clown. And I've been around him at fights. Like he's at all the fights. I see him at the fights, and he seems to be a pretty nice guy. You know, seems to be a pretty nice guy, man. You know, signs autographs. I guess I don't know if I saw anybody ask him for one, but he seems like he'd be the type of guy to sign some autograph if somebody asked him. Devin Andrade said Regis by KO cold. I don't know, man. I gotta watch that fight though. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I caught the highlights on that, and I didn't see no highlights. I was looking for highlights. I was like, where the highlights? And it seemed like it was just a lot of outboxing, you know. Mim second said Clarence, who? Oh, that ain't me, man. How is Haney scared of Loma when Haney was Loma's mandatory? Man, Haney ain't scared of nobody, man. Devin Haney ain't scared. Devin Haney and his dad, I'm going to tell you, man, them dudes are hungry, man. Those dudes are hungry. They act hungry. They out there trying to do stuff. They are out there pushing to try to get these fights made, man. And I believe them. You know what I mean? I believe that if somebody makes that fight, they're gonna take that fight without a doubt. And honestly, man, that's exactly what they got to do, man. Mim Second said I was responding to a troll. My fault for not. Ain't no worries, man. You know, sometimes because I read all the comments, man. I read as many comments as I can, so it's all right. Ain't no problem, man. Davidson Andrade said Teo loves calling himself, nobody else call him undisputed. He doesn't have to give Devin the opportunity to take it away from him. Smart move. Yeah, ain't nobody else calling him undisputed. Sorry, Teo, you are not undisputed, man. You do not hold the same belts that, hey, here's the thing with that undisputed thing. Either Teofimo Lopez is undisputed or Josh Taylor is undisputed. They both can't be undisputed. It's one or the other. And seeing as almost every major WBC champion is holding the same belt that Devin holds, Devin is the WBC champion. And the WBC can't get out of that. You can't say that only in the case of this in this weight class is that WBC belt the real belt. But in every other one, right? Only in this weight class is that not the real belt. But everywhere else, it is. Tyson Fury does not hold the same belt as Teofimo Lopez. He holds the same belt as Devin Haney. And same situation with undisputed at 168. Canelo Alvarez is not the franchise champion at 168. Canelo Alvarez has the same belt that Devin Haney has. So I'm sorry, man. You got caught out there, dog. And it's nothing personal. But that's why they got upset. Now I remember. That's why y'all started calling me a racist. Now I remember. I was like, what the fuck did I do to Teofimo Lopez? Besides having Teofimo Lopez's friend be a jackass that always talking shit about people. What did I do? And I remember now. It's because I said that he's not the undisputed champion. He isn't. You can't be. Not with that belt, dog. Because nobody else. First of all, I don't even know if is anybody else even a franchise champion now? I don't think Canelo's a franchise champion anymore. Because he just left. He said he's never fighting at 160 anymore. So I don't even think he is a franchise champion anymore. The only person in all of boxing to have that designation is Teofimo Lopez. If I'm right, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, that he literally is the only person that has that designation in all of boxing. Dog, you needed to fight. You should have fought Devin Haney. You got to fight Devin Haney to be undisputed, and that's just for real, man. Ron Miller said if Teofimo is undisputed, then Tyson Fury isn't the W. Exactly, he ain't the WBC champion, no doubt about it, man. Davidson Andrade said, Fannon, have you seen Davis saying that after he knocks out Riley, he wants to fight Josh Taylor? Hey, man, I have heard that. If he fights, oh, man. Would love it, but I hope that happens. It would be interesting, man. Tank is a bad little dude, man. If they were the same size, he's going to mop Josh Taylor. If they're the same size. But the problem is Josh Taylor is so much bigger that it's hard for me to get my head. It's hard for me to get my head around little Gervonta Davis being able to beat guys up at that weight class. Maybe I'm being short man prejudiced. You know what I mean? But it's just such a big size difference between the two. You know, that's why it's tough. That's why it's tough for me, man. I think Estrada. I've never heard of Carlos being a franchise champion. I don't think he is. I don't think he's a franchise champion. I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure Teofimo Lopez is the only one now. Because it was supposed to be just, I don't know what the WBC was doing with that nonsense, but I know what they were doing. You know what I mean? But the WBA, they got to get rid of all that crap. It's so confusing, man. And much love to everybody in that super chat, man. Thank you for the support, man. It really does mean a lot, man. For Division 85, said, I can't wait for this Porter-Crawford fight. In your opinion, how do you see that breaking down, Don? Oh, man. In a hellacious fight. Dog. A hellacious fight in which Sean Porter gets dropped. Terrence Crawford gets beat up. The whole nine, dog. Split decision win for Terrence Crawford. That's how I see it coming out. I see it being a split decision win for Terrence Crawford. In a fight of the year contest, man. That's how I see it coming out. But I do see in the back of my mind, I see it. I see Terrence Crawford dropping him though. I think Terrence going to catch him with something when because Sean is going at some point in that fight. Sean Porter's going to lunge. At some point in time, he's going to come in with that head, and Terrence Crawford's going to time him, and that's going to be the difference. And that's may be the difference in the fight. But I got to go with Terrence Crawford. I got to go with Terrence Crawford in that fight. And honestly, man, I'm kind of rooting for Terrence Crawford in that fight, even though I definitely am I like Sean Porter too. I like Sean Porter, but the intrigue yeah, fight of the year, man, fight of the year. Absolutely. Fight of the year, dog. Fight of the year. That's going to be a humdinger, dog. You can't say, hey, man, there's no way that ain't going to be a good fight. Because only way Sean Porter can win is taking it to Bud. I'm telling you, Sean ain't going to be sitting on the outside playing around with Bud. He's going to come forward and he's going to try to get in. He's going to try to rough Bud up and try to wear Bud down. At least that's what I see. I could be wrong, obviously. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Dwayne Kane Sr. said Floyd is not allowing Tank to fight Josh Taylor. Haney will fight Josh Taylor before Tank Davis. You guys missed something about Josh Taylor, man. Dude, Josh Taylor is diuretics, man. That's the only reason that dude can make that weight class, dog. That's the only way he can make that weight class, dog. He ain't staying at that weight class. If you ever seen Josh Taylor, go look at pictures of Josh Taylor weighing in. Josh Taylor wants out that weight class badly. He's just too big for that weight class. And he's going to be up at welterweight, man. And when he gets to welterweight, that's that ass. I'm trying to tell you. That's that behind. I got to stop cussing, man. Ron Miller said, you hear AJ is helping himself to some of that Mexican meat? Yeah, man, I see him. I see him creeping around there with Eddie Reynoso. He need to get another trainer. People have been telling him that for a while, man. He's been with the same trainer since the amateurs. And honestly, man, they ain't got no solution for Alexander Usyk. He got to come forward with Alexander Usyk. He really does. He's got to come forward with Alexander Usyk, and he's got to wear on Alexander Usyk. He's not going to outbox Alexander Usyk. It's just not going to happen. That ain't Andy Ruiz. He's not going to be able to stay on the outside and touch him with a jab and touch him on a jab for round after round after round after round. It's just not going to pop off like that for him, man. Well, when the champ runs, you can't fight him. Who you talking about, man? Who you talking about? In my opinion, you got to beat the champion to be the champion, and he ain't beat no one for the belt. Who you talking about, Kyle Munoz? Who hasn't beat anybody for the belt? Who hasn't beat anybody for the belt? Dillian White style would suit AJ in a rematch. Dillian White's trash. Dillian White gonna get I can't wait to see Dillian White get knocked out again. Dillian White is trash, man. There's Dillian White fights soft touches. As many soft touches as he can get his hands on, man. That's who Dillian White is fighting. And Dillian White, it's just a matter of time, dog, before Dillian White again gets knocked out unconscious. Oh, he talking about Devin? Oh, hey man, people win vacant belts. Why am I tripping, man? Not Devin Haney. Dillian White's trash, man. How many times Dillian White got to get beat before you realize he's trash? Dillian White is trash, dog. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that Derek Chisora. I'm not buying the Derek Chisora, Dillian White, Joseph Parker fights. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying him at all, man. When you get knocked out by a 40-year-old Alexander Povetkin, lifted off the ground like that, nah, man, I'm not believing him. Now he got back in and he won the fight, but whatever. He came back in the rematch and won the rematch, but I'm not a big follower of him, man. I'm not a believer in Dillian White. I'm not a believer in Dillian White in the least. Not in the least, not to the most, not to nothing. I just think he's extremely Extremely overrated, man. He said, get that paper champ-ish out of here, lame. Yeah, I mean, let's get out of here, man. The dude's, look, he got the belt because because they wouldn't fight him. And then he fought Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares is a former champion. Dog, he's the champion. And he's defended his belt. At this point in time, it is what it is. Anthony Joshua won a vacant belt too. You think he win the vacant IBF? Or was it the vacant? Yeah, he won the Did he win the vacant IBF? Can't remember. The vacant something. He won the vacant something. Or no, he didn't. He didn't because he beat Charles Martin for the IBF. Then I think he won a vacant belt. They won a vacant belt against the WBA was vacant, and we fought Klitschko. So I got that wrong. Ron Miller said Dillian White beat the worst version of past prime Alexander Povetkin. Yeah, it's just I'm not big on him, man. I'm not big on him, man. I don't believe him. I think he's a waste of time in the heavyweight division, man. Davison Andre, which weight class you know absolutely nothing about? Flyweight. Nothing about flyweight. Nothing about flyweight. Flyweight, strawweight, them. I don't, pretty much anything, I'm good anything pretty much 118 pounds and above. When you start dipping into 112s, 108s, and 105s, I don't pay attention to that, man. So, yeah, the little weight classes I don't really know very much about. I mean, I know a little bit about them. Like, you know, like King Ray Martinez. I know about him. I watch the fights like with Sonny Edwards, and, you know, I know some of the fighters down there, but I can't tell you like who the contenders are. You know, like I know who Ioka is. I've seen Ioka fight. I've seen Inoue fight. I've seen, Soroy Vasai and all those guys fight down there, but really not a lot. You know, little itty bitty dudes, teeny weeny midget weight classes. I don't know as much about, but but anything and cruiserweight and cruiserweight, dog. I don't pay attention to cruiserweight for nothing. Because all I think that is, I just think cruiserweight's an excuse not to fight at heavyweight. Like, it's just that and that Bridgerweight garbage they're doing. Man, all them dudes need to be fighting at heavyweight, man. Go fight at heavyweight, man. Either be a light heavyweight or fight at heavyweight. You know what I mean? Cruiserweight is an excuse to make up more belts, in my opinion, man. B-boy, but I'm biased because, I'm biased in that regard. Because I like just light heavyweight. I remember that. You know what I mean? And every most of the cruiserweights wind up fighting at heavyweight if they're not just fluffed up light heavyweights, B-Boy Pop 97 said, I swear people don't use their brains. How Devin, a paper champ, when he has Loma's belt, he was a real champ. Loma said it himself. Yeah, man, they just trying to insult the kid. That's it. That's just Teofimo Lopez fans trying to make an excuse for the guy not fighting. How about this? If he's a paper champ, beat him and take his paper. Beat him and take his paper. That's an easy reconciliation to the issue. Beat him and take his paper. And then we're all good, right? Beat him and take his paper. But you know they're not going to beat him and take his paper. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. J-Rock is done. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. J-Rock lost way on an undercard, too. But, after having been knocked out 2 times like he was knocked out, I mean, it's probably best for him, man. I mean, J-Rock probably make a great trainer. He's a very, very smart guy, and he's in a city with a lot of fighters. So, hey, man, get to training. You know what I mean? I like J-Rock, man. I like J-Rock. Said, them guys at 108 is like a good-sized dog. Yeah, dude, my dog weighs more than them dudes. Like, for real, I got a dog bigger than the 105 and 108 pound champ. My dog is tipping the scales over there, man. What about Dwight Muhammad Kawi at cruiserweight? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, exactly. I just said it's my bias. I know that they were good cruiserweights, man. He who greets with fire. What do you think about Teofimo using the N-word, Fannon? What do I personally think about it? Personally, it's whatever, honestly. To me personally, it irked me Because I'm like, every time I hear it, it irks me. Like, it does. But I don't think that I don't think he was calling him a nigger like he was trying to insult him. I knew what he was doing. But I'll tell you this, though. I understand exactly why some people that ain't from New York, why they don't like it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people don't like that stuff, man. Really don't like that stuff. But to me, I knew what he was saying. I know what he's saying, and I know that it's people in New York do that, and I also know he's from Honduras, and there's probably a lot of black folk from Honduras, and like Puerto Ricans, like a lot of Puerto Ricans are just, there's a lot of black Puerto Ricans, and there's not a lot, you know what I mean? And they were former slaves, and, it's when you get outside the United States and you start thinking like people don't really think about that a lot, like the fact that like most of those Puerto Ricans are descendant of slaves. Because they were on sugarcane farms in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So if you were used to that and you're from there, it doesn't bother people a lot. But I knew what he was saying. It didn't bug me that much. But I will tell you this, though. Them jackasses called, because I personally was like, are you serious? Because they called me a racist. Personally. Like, I got, from my understanding, now I didn't hear it because I don't listen to that clown. But enough people came to me telling me that Teofimo Lopez's daddy called me a racist, that I was like, for them to be throwing that word around, I don't feel sorry for them if people give them some slack. I'll tell you that. Because I'm like, man, I ain't never what have I ever said to Teofimo Lopez or any Mexican person, and I know he's not Mexican, I know he's from Honduras. What have I ever said to y'all to make you think that I'm racist? I mean, seriously, I've never said anything. I never called you anything out of your name, never. Never. But they will throw that shit at a black person in a fucking heartbeat. So for me, I was like, dude, if somebody does call you a racist, you better shut up and take it. As many times as y'all run around calling black people racist because they don't support Teofimo Lopez. So that's what I felt. Because I'm very insulted by Teofimo Lopez and all that crap. Like, it's like, man, you're going to sit up here. And honestly, I get pissed off because there's been more people. I've been called a racist more times by non-black people than I have ever called non-black people racist. I don't run around saying that Mikey Garcia is racist, or because I heard his brother say Mayate. I've never called Canelo racist. I've never called Tyson Fury racist. Never. But anytime that you don't support, that you support a black fighter, you get called a racist by those people. So if somebody's running around calling him racist, good for him. I hope he gets stress over it. Because seriously, they pull out that shit more than anybody else does. And I was mad, like, said Teo Pop sound a little racist when he says it. I mean, look, man, I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't care. Seriously, he seems like a street dude to me. That's what Teofimo Lopez Sr. sounds to me. He sounds like a dude. He sounds like a dude that is going to say anything. He's going to say anything that's going to get his point across in a way. And if does he like black people? I don't know. Don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care if he likes black people or not. What difference does it make to me if some dude from Honduras, from New York, from Brooklyn don't like black people? Like, dude, you got your own problems to worry about, man, and it ain't black people. Okay? Fred Jimenez says, so when a Latino says the N-word, it's not in a racial way. Look, man, what can I say? There are a whole bunch of people in New York that throw that word around, and they throw it around all over the place. So do I think he was calling Devin Haney that in a way to demean black people? No. I don't think he was demeaning black people. I don't. I thought he used it as if it's a catchphrase for that dude. Like, you could have changed that. You could have changed the N word to dude, and it would have worked for his meaning. I get that. I get it. But if somebody else don't like it, I understand that too. You know what I mean? Said Leo, say I'm Honduras. 45% of Honduras are black. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of black people there. That's why dude, that's a global thing that people in the United States, a lot by and large, who are not from like metropolitan areas, they don't appreciate. And I understand. New York is not like a lot of places in the United States, man. But it is whatever, man. Big Fish said New York bred, being black and white, acceptable to use that in the fashion he did. Wasn't said with racist intention. No, but however, man, let me tell you something. They call a lot of people racist for never use that, man. So I don't even give a shit. Like, I hope somebody calls. I hate that I'm cussing. I'm trying to stop cussing. I don't even care. Yeah, black when it's convenient. Exactly. But anyway, man, I just find it's ironic for some people that run around calling black people racist. And they do that like for real. Oh, you just anti-Latino. Like, man, shut up. Anti-Latino, like, where did that come from? Like, you pulling that like black, like, we'll run around calling black people anti-Latino, but we'll never say it about white people. Ain't never heard y'all call white people anti-Latino. But we'll call black people anti-Latino in a heartbeat because they support a black fighter and don't support a specific Latino fighter, a specific one, right? Can support Guillermo Rigondeaux, can support Erislandy Lara, Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, can support Marcos, can support Juan Manuel Marquez, but if you don't support that one, so that's the only place I'm coming from. I don't appreciate being called racist by Latinos because it's like, man, stop, dude. That's just stop with that. But anyway, Deborah Booker, much love in that super chat. Thank you very much. So, but if anybody else got a problem, yeah, man, have a problem with it. Trust me, no skin off my back if you got a problem with it either way, man. Because people in Chicago probably wouldn't people in New Orleans probably wouldn't take too kind to that. So I would say, I don't know, but maybe they would. These young people are different, man. It's the word is just so much out there, man. But anyway, man. She said, I'm Dominican and I have black ancestry in my bloodline as well. Absolutely. And it would be out if you, it is what it is, man. TD Rose said, Rigo ain't Latino to them. He's black. Yeah, So anyway, man, let's skip that subject, man. The only beef that I got, and I'm telling you, it's a personal beef, is the fact that camp called me racist. And I kept having people come by my chat, come by my videos, saying all that crap about me just because I said Devin Haney's the WBC champion. That was racist because I said Devin Haney's the WBC champion, which he is. At the same time, got attacked by a bunch of Devin Haney fans because I said Gary Russell ain't ducking. I was so sick of that conversation, man. I didn't know what to do. For real. Do you mind him using as a black man? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Look, man, these kids, you guys are grown men. You guys can use the word or not use the word. Big Fish, much love in the super chat. You can use the word, not use the word, dude. Me personally, I'm walking by you. I'm not gonna my emotions ain't gonna go one way. My words, my stuff ain't gonna go one way or the other with it. Because I understand what he said. Like when Jennifer Lopez used it, I didn't care about that. You know what I mean? It's like, man, she's Puerto Rican. Half of those Puerto Ricans are black. You know what I mean? Like half of them, probably more than half of them. So it's like, whatever, man. There are former slaves that use that word. You know what I mean? Just, it is what it is, man. I honestly, man, I just wish, and this is going to sound corny, I really wish we could all just get along, man. I mean, I wish we all really, truly could understand, bro, that we are all in the same boat, man. We are not in different boats, man. We're not in different boats. We're living under the same system that has the same root problem. We all suffer from the same root problem. But because we can't do anything about the problem, we beat each other. We beat up on each other. And that's just where I am on it, man. But Teofimo Lopez himself, yeah, I think he took too many punches, man. Teofimo Lopez seems a little punchy to me. I'm just telling you the honest truth. Teofimo Lopez already seems a little punchy. So people say that Gervonta Davis sounds a little punchy, like, in the way that he speaks. The way that Teofimo Lopez puts thoughts together, I think that at a young age, man, I think he may either he's not a very bright guy or he's taking a little too many shots, man, because he don't know what he's saying. He switches up too much. Anyway, Fannon, do you know Eder Joffrey? I know the name, but I don't know the fighter, honestly, man. Said we all getting screwed by the sick elites, racism in their playbook. Exactly. Like I'm supposed to worry about some guys from Honduras. You know what I'm saying? Said Raleigh sounds really punchy, man. Raleigh on something, man. You know Raleigh on something, man. Raleigh getting that pay. Hey, I like Raleigh though. I like Raleigh for the comedy of Raleigh. I like Raleigh, man. and I wish Raleigh the best, man. But Raleigh gonna get mopped by Gervonta Davis, man. There ain't no way he getting out of that. He said Raleigh sounds very punchy. I gotta listen to it a little bit, man. I gotta listen to it. I think you may have a point there. I know what you're saying, but I'm not sure. He said he's not that academically inclined, Teofimo. Yeah, Teofimo ain't the sharpest pencil. He ain't the sharpest pencil in the drawer, dog. He ain't the sharpest pencil in the drawer, that's for sure, man. Ali Voso said, good morning, Fannon and company. Man, what's going on, Ali Voso? How you feeling this morning, man? We said Molly Watt, man. What about Acelino Freitas? What about him? He's a hype job, man. You talking about the Brazilian? Was he Brazilian? Acelino Freitas was Brazilian, right? He's a hype job, man. He's a hype job, man. Joe Casamayor, I was like, man, it's been a long time, man. You talking about like early 2000 lightweights and super bantamweights, man, now. But Acelino Freitas had a very, very good record, man. They were hyping Acelino Freitas up. But I knew Acelino Freitas was going to wind up running into Joe Casamayor or Jose Luis Castillo and Diego Corrales, and he was going to lose. You know what I mean? D Stuckman said, what about Mikey getting beat, man? Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, man. That's cherry picking gone wrong. I think he took him for granted. I was watching Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a businessman now. Mikey Garcia was supremely confident. I think he probably overrated that guy and didn't come in properly prepared and didn't have a game plan for him. Might have not even really didn't think very much of the guy. Some guy with 2 losses out of Spain probably just didn't think anything about him, man, and didn't really prepare. That's what I think the highest likelihood is that. You know what I mean? He just looked like he took him for granted because he wanted. And now, if it was the Regis Prograis fight, more than likely he would have been amped for the Regis Prograis fight. He would have been full on board for all the way on board for the Regis Prograis fight. Chris McClain said the way you feel about Dillian White is the way I am with Raleigh. Oh, I feel the same way about Raleigh. Don't get me wrong. Much love in that super chat. Do not get me wrong. I absolutely feel the same way about Raleigh Romero. Raleigh but you know, what can I say? He's getting his. Raleigh know he ain't winning that fight, man. Raleigh know he ain't winning that fight, man. You know you ain't winning that fight, Raleigh. Okay? Ain't nothing about except you know what? He may be getting geeked because Gervonta is small. Maybe that's where it comes from, man. He thinks because Gervonta Davis is small, then he'll be able to just bowl over out. But I saw him do, man, he's a clown, man. Seriously, man, just no way. I don't see it. Big Fish said, Tio, sporadic thoughts and jolly energy, pure ADHD. Yeah, man, he'd be all over the place, man. I mean, I got ADHD, so, you know, I can understand, but he says stuff that it's like he makes it up as he goes, man. My man Davison Andrade said, I'm Brazilian, and a lot of people here say that Floyd Mayweather avoided Freitas. No. They were on different networks at the time. Top Rank, Acelino Freitas was a Showtime fighter, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. was an HBO fighter. And ain't no way that Acelino, and I think Acelino Freitas might have been a weight class at 126. And I think there are different weight classes. Pretty sure Acelino Freitas is a 126. And Floyd was at 130. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe. However, yeah, Acelino Freitas is going to get beat. Is not going to win that fight, man. None of those guys is going to beat Floyd, man. Floyd was otherworldly at that weight class. There's still to this day, I've not seen anybody at 130, at 130 pounds, I think could breathe on Floyd at 130, and nor really at 135. You know what I mean? He said more like bipolar. It's the same thing. ADHD is the youth version of bipolar, man. It's the same thing, man. Not a lot of people know that, but ADHD, legitimate ADHD, is like in bipolar. They are very closely related, man. Very, very closely related. Do you think Teofimo Lopez is senior is mismanaging Teo? Nah, I thought he was doing I thought he was doing a really good job, actually. Except for, they got caught up in this George Kambosos thing. And I don't think that they could have seen it going that bad. I thought they were trying to hit a lick real quick, and it just turned out bad for them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think, he negotiated him into a situation where he was going to make a lot of money for that fight. But they didn't want to go, what did he say? They didn't want to go to Australia. That was probably smart not to go to Australia. It's just unfortunate, man, that he caught COVID and they couldn't get that fight done and get it done quick. But no, I don't think he's mismanaging Teofimo Lopez. I don't think he is. I think he's done a good job of getting him into a position where he can make a lot of money. So nah, man, I don't think so. Not to throw out the conversation, but I have a question. If Hector Camacho, RIP, was in his prime for 9, you think he can get Canelo jacket? Canelo, nah, he can't beat Canelo. Canelo's a better fighter than first of all, he's too small. Because I think he's too small for Canelo. I think he's like 130. I thought he was like a lightweight he's a lightweight that eventually moved up to 100 and he's a lightweight that eventually moved up to whatever weight class that was, to 140 or wherever he got. But Canelo started at 154. He's just too big, and he's a better fighter than Hector Camacho, I think. You know what I mean? Ron Mayfield said Riley sparring midgets to get ready for Tank and walking out with Little Nas X. Tank sparring big boys and walking out with Lil Baby. Hey man, Lil Nas X, man, that's y'all support. I don't really pay attention to hip hop, man. I can't lie, man. I'm not a hip hop dude, man. And honestly, I ain't got nothing to do with no Lil Nas X, homie. Y'all with that Lil Nas X, man. Y'all with that Lil Nas X, man. I don't know what y'all on with Lil Nas X, man. Michael Rhymes said he believes in his powers and he thinks he can hurt Tank because Tank don't get hit. Do get hit when he slugs it out. Yeah, good luck with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Good luck with that. Really good luck with that, man. Really good luck with that. Tank can get hit when Tank don't feel like you got any power. That's what that is. When Tank don't feel like you can hurt him, he will take a shot on his gloves, and some of that might get through for him to move inside and try to get you out of there. But if Tank don't want to get hit, Tank ain't got to get hit. And Riley Romero isn't somebody he loads up with everything. So Tank's gonna be able to see that, because he loads up so much. Like whoa, he loads up too much. At least that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me. Ron Miller said Duran might have beaten Canelo. Yeah, but that's Duran. You talking about Duran at like 160? I mean, he has a chance. Yeah, Duran, but that's Duran. That's not Hector Camacho. That's Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran and Hector Camacho, man, that's night and day, man. I'm telling you right now. That right there is night and day. Rashawn Pittman. Yeah, man, absolutely, Rashawn. Hold on one second while while I get to the end. Yep, there you go, Rashawn, because I know you had one. No doubt about it. There you go, Rashawn. Sai said, who you really think is winning Tank versus Stevenson? I think Tank could surprise people and come out on top. It wouldn't be a surprise if Tank beat Stevenson, but I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Tank versus Stevenson is a 50-50 fight, man. 50-50 fight. I can't call it. I cannot call it on that one. I can't call that. That's a 50-50 fight, man. That's a 50-50 fight. No call. I'm not going to call that. Shakur Stevenson's the truth, man. Trying to say Shakur Stevenson's the truth. I know he's got more to prove, but that's why I can't call it. Because until he shows me something would make me believe. But I didn't see a disclosure here. I did not see Shakur Stevenson's last fight. And honestly, I did not see Jamal Charlo's last fight. But from what I've seen of Shakur Stevenson, I think that's a 50-50 fight, man. They're about the same size. They're both southpaws. They're both very, very skilled. Both of them, Gervonta got more crack. I think that Shakur probably has a little more length. So I don't know, man. I'll say I hope I see that fight. I hope I see that fight. And another good fight I would love to see is because I got to put his name out there, is Chris Colbert, man. Devin Andrade said, what if Kambosos beats Teofimo? Dog, that would be terrible. I don't want to see that happen, man. That would be terrible. I would feel really, really bad if Teofimo Lopez lost to George Kambosos. That would be an utter shame. I don't hold anything personal about Teofimo Lopez against Teofimo Lopez. That would be a shame, man, because Teofimo Lopez is a good fighter. And if he loses to George Kambosos, that means something just went wrong with Teofimo Lopez, and I wouldn't want anything wrong with Teofimo Lopez. I want to see Teofimo Lopez in a big fight with these guys that we're talking this smack about. That all these guys are talking smack with each other about. So that would be a shame, man. I hope he doesn't. And plus, man, he's an American. And George Kambosos is Australian. And that would affect our championship count. Because I'm keeping, for all you UK. Oh, man, funny story, dog. Funny story. I know I caught y'all being a little bit racist. I caught you. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I caught these dudes, dog. Caught it. Hey, Michael Kirkin said, have you ever seen Tank hurt? No. I think you have to beat him like Douglas did Tyson. You have to stop him. Nah, I've never seen him hurt. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you for the support. Man, look. Let me tell you something. You tweeted that? What you thought? Look, man. Dude, you saw me on Twitter? Look, dude. I caught you all. I caught you. I was talking, and I'm going to keep your name out of it. Because I'm trying to make up with the media. I'm not going hard at these guys anymore. I understand where they're coming from. So, honestly, man, Dougie Fisher, man, blessings to Dougie Fisher. All you guys that are out there in the media, blessings to you, man. Seriously. During COVID and all this stuff, man, we got no time to be hating on everybody. So anyway, but this one media guy was talking. I put this tweet up, and the tweet was that he had bragging that he had run some guy off Twitter because they had a debate about the UK versus US boxing, and that how the US so I looked at it, and it said that the US boxing is no longer elite and UK boxing is elite. And this guy, whoever they were debating with, got rid of his literally deleted his account. So I couldn't see what the guy was saying, but they were beating this guy up so bad that the guy quit Twitter, right? So I was like, yeah. So I was like, hold on. I'll take that. I was like, I'll take that one. So I jump in there And exactly, I was like, man, we got 16 champions and you guys have 4. How are we not elite and you're elite when we have more champions than any other country? And we always keep between 14 and 18 world champions. And it has stayed consistent through the 1980s. Trust me, we've been watching because you guys have been talking this for years. So what happened was somebody, shout out to Blood Boxing. Blood Boxing did the research on it. And he was like, hold on. We've had the same amount of champions since the 4-belt era has begun in the late 80s, early 90s, since the IBF and the WBO have come around. We have kept the same number of champions. So I got on in their chat and I said the same thing. Do you know how many they went and count? Now this is a guy, and I said I'm not gonna say your name because I'm not doing that no more. But let's just say that they're prominent. And he said, I only count 11. And I was like, you only count 11, huh? Can anybody guess what the 11 were that he had to be counting? And what the difference was between the 16 and the 11? Stick with me. What difference could there have been? Why can I look at a list of champions and count 16? And somebody from the UK look and only count 11. Here's the answer. They only counted the black people. They didn't count any Mexicans. They didn't count any Mexicans. They didn't count any non-black Americans. They didn't count Joe Smith. They didn't count Caleb Plant. They did not count Teofimo Lopez. They did not count Brandon Figueroa. They didn't count Leo Santa Cruz because those were the 5 champions that are not black, that are Americans. And there are 11 African American. What they were saying was that black people are not dominating anymore. And I'm trying to say, but race don't matter. Exactly. They left the whites and the Mexicans off. Caught ya. Americans include Oscar De La Hoya is American, my friend. Oscar De La Hoya is American. Joe Smith is American. Guess Oscar Valdez is an American citizen. Leo Santa Cruz is an American citizen and fought in the American amateurs. Oscar Valdez fought in the amateurs in the United States. They did not count anybody but black people as Americans. And you got stuck. But let me tell you what that means. That means black people have got 2.5 times as many champions as the UK does. With 11 black champions, dog. With 11 black champions, we have 2.5 times as many champions as the UK has total. In total, the United States black Americans by themselves have more championship than any other country in the world. Black Americans by ourselves. How exactly are we falling off? I would like to understand that one. Seriously, how are we falling off, dog? He said, name him, big dog. Nah, I'm not going to do it, dog. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it. The body was enough for me. I used to do that with like Dan Rayfield and guys like that. But what happens is you get blocked. You get blocked and they never want to talk to you again. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get blocked. Mike Montero blocked me because Mike Montero. I don't like Mike Montero, but I respect Mike. I don't know what to say. Mike Montero says some things every once in a while that I agree with. And he's doing a job. So, you know what I mean? But I did catch him and his departed brother, rest in peace, saying some fucked up shit about black people, dog. I was like, man, what the fuck was that, Mike? Don't act like you didn't put that video up, homie. Y'all got a little too comfortable talking about black people one time. They took the video down, though. Heck no, I didn't count women champions. Said RB Brooklyn said F UK boxing. It ain't wild, man. Bill Locker said, did you count women champions? No, I did not count women champions. No need for that. You know what I mean? Because they ain't talking about women. I'm not doing that. Like, they got this fight. What's the female fight that they're going to get geeked up about? Like Clarissa Shields. What was the name of the girl from the UK that says that that Clarissa Shields won't go 2 rounds with her? I don't even remember her name, dog. I rock with Amanda Serrano. I rock with Francois DeJourn Cruz. I rock with Jessica McCaskill from The Chi, and Clarissa Shields. Those are the ones I like. I like Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor can fight, man. Katie Taylor's a good fighter, man. I like that, man. He said, not all UK to say. I know. Absolutely, man. A lot of good UK dudes, man. Savannah Marshall. Yeah, they're gonna geek up. They're gonna geek up Savannah Marshall. No, I understand that not all the UK is the same, but it's the same because yeah, it's got millions and millions. Like not everybody from the United States is the same. I certainly hope you don't group me together with many people that you hear from the United States, man. He said, Planet ain't British. What the F you talking about, dude? What you talking about? I don't know what you mean, man. Yeah, Savannah Marshall, man. Man, Savannah Marshall about to get mopped. Savannah Marshall is going to get beat unanimous, 12-round unanimous decision. Savannah Marshall is slow as Savannah Molasses is slow as Joe Joyce. With them big winging, walking forward, she going to get mopped up, dog. Savannah, I think she is anyway. But she looks like she got more power. She looks like she got more power than Clarissa Shields. But Clarissa Shields going to take it to her, though. Absolutely, positively take it to her, man. Ron Miller said, Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn giving the UK a bad name. Yeah, that in their UK, that in their media guys, man. Their media guys are really the ones that are, always doing all the talking, man. Anthony Ortiz said, I got Teofimo versus Devin. I got Teofimo versus Devin. Haney got more work. Oh, you got Teofimo versus Devin. Haney got more work to do. But since all those titles are in one hand, so it's understandable. Devin, you got to respect Devin's title, man. Respect Devin's title. I think it's a 50-50 fight to me. 50-50 fight. Even Lomachenko versus Devin. Devin just didn't fight Lomachenko. Devin Haney got an opportunity to got a chance to beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko would have a hard time fighting his usual fight with Devin Haney because he's not going to tee off on Devin Haney like that, man. He's not switching angles and doing all that with Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney might be a harder fight or as hard a fight or a harder fight for Teofimo Lopez for Vasily Lomachenko than Teofimo Lopez is. Teofimo Lopez just got the fight. You know what I mean? He got the fight. Devin Haney didn't get the fight. When Devin Haney fought Jorge Linares, dude, that was a one-sided fight. With the exception of when Devin Haney got caught by Jorge Linares. And Jorge Linares knocked down Lomachenko. It ain't like Jorge Linares can't fight, or that he can't punch. But I just think I wouldn't put too much into that. Give Teofimo Lopez the respect for beating Lomachenko. But dude, he got the fight. These other guys didn't get the fight. Just because he beat the guy doesn't mean that he's going to have an easy time with Devin Haney or that Devin Haney couldn't beat Lomachenko. It's just Devin Haney wanted the Lomachenko fight. He just didn't get the Lomachenko fight. It's not like Devin Haney wasn't calling for the fight. Excuse me. Like he wasn't in the WBC rankings. He never tried to leave the WBC rankings. He wanted to fight Lomachenko as the WBC champion. He just didn't get the opportunity to do it, man. And there's a style matchup with Lomachenko and Devin Haney, man. Ever notice how much bigger Devin Haney is than Lomachenko? really how much taller Devin Haney is than Teofimo Lopez if I'm looking at it the right way. I mean, Devin Haney is a tall, long fighter. The only question that people have on Devin Haney is how hard he hits. And is he willing, if he's in a situation where he can't move, does he have the power? Does he have the chin to hold those guys, those really rugged fighters off of him? But I agreed with his father when his father said, look, you got to touch him first. You know what I mean? You got to get to the dude. And Devin Haney is not somebody very easy to get to, man. So Devin Haney deserves a lot more credit than the detractors of Devin Haney are giving him. That guy is a world champion, and people should respect him as a world champion. It's not his fault that Lomachenko and Bob Arum took that franchise belt. It's not his fault. He did everything he was supposed to do, and he's still done everything he's supposed to do as a WBA champion. If he's got a mandatory, he's going to fight the mandatory, right? He's waiting for this interim stuff between Jojo Diaz. I don't know if if Jojo Diaz is actually going to sign to fight him, but if Jojo Diaz gets the fight and he fights him, dude, that's a championship fight. You know, that's my take on Devin Haney. I don't got to buy into every argument, every tangential argument that goes on to be a supporter of Devin Haney. But like who's ducking who and all that. But Garrett, I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that Devin Haney has ducked anybody, right? Devin, not that I can see. Has he ever ducked anybody? So the people that are just calling him an email champ and all that, I mean, come on, man. You got guys like Kid Galahad, and all those dudes down there at 126 pounds that want to, even though Kid Galahad himself hasn't said this, but, talk about, Gary Russell Jr. doesn't fight Gary Russell Jr. Try to make a fight with Gary Russell Jr. Call Gary Russell Jr. out and say, I want to fight Gary Russell Jr. I want to fight Gary Russell Jr. Now, Kid Galahad's people or fans, supporters that used to come by the chat would be like, tell Gary Russell to fight Kid Galahad. Tell Gary Russell to fight Kid Galahad. They were asking Gary Russell Jr. about fighting Kid Galahad, but all of a sudden, Kid Galahad got an IBF belt, and you don't hear that no more. You don't hear anything about it. You hear about him going to fight somebody else. No calls for Kid Galahad versus Gary Russell now that Kid Galahad got the IBF belt. So, there's some paper champs out there, dog. There's some paper champs, but not Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney has done everything. Devin Haney has done everything Devin Haney is supposed to do as in that WBC. And so I don't buy any of that stuff with Devin Haney, man. Freddie Jimenez said, come on, man. Devin is the man. He don't dunk no one. He's a real person. He's a great, yeah, exactly, man. And dude, he's a good dude. Seriously. I mean, he's a good dude. Everything that I've seen, because I had a small misunderstanding with Devin Haney, and probably it was my fault. And dude, he's a good dude. He's a good dude, man. And I wish nothing but the best for him and his father, man. I don't think those guys are making up that they're trying to fight these guys. They're just very, very vocal about it. But Teofimo Lopez even saying he's going to fight Devin, I don't believe it. Because at the same time, you're saying literally at the same time that you're fighting Josh Taylor at 140 and you're moving up to 140. Your promoter is saying you're moving up to 140. Now, Devin, I think, is saying now that he wants to move to 140. If he goes to 140 and Teofimo Lopez goes to 140, then there should be no excuse whatsoever. No excuse whatsoever. You guys give him too much credit. He has never said Tank's name. Who was that? Devin Haney has never said Tank's name. I've heard him say it. I heard his father say it. He said that he knows that that's the threat. I've heard him say it, but I mean, what's he supposed to do? Devin, he's not a champ. Gervonta Davis is not a champ at 135. He's not a champ. Devin Haney's the champ at 135. Gervonta Davis is not a champ at 135. But I know that they've said that they've wanted to fight him. Can you duck somebody not in your weight class? Not according to me. Unless if you move out of the weight class, yeah, for sure. If you jump out that weight class and go somewhere else, yeah, you can leave a weight class to duck somebody for sure. Like Canelo Alvarez and Jamal Charlo. Man, he ducked Jamal Charlo. Duck, goose. When he jumped to 160, when he jumped to 168, duck, goose. For sure. Without a doubt, he ducked, man. And ain't no question in my mind that man ducked. King Low said, I'm not sold on Devin being fearless because he clearly did not want that Regis smoke. They're not in the same weight class yet. They're not in the same weight class. If they go to 140 and Regis Prograis is at, he didn't duck him. He ain't in the same weight class yet. How'd he duck Prograis and he's not in the same weight class yet? He ain't duck him yet. You got to wait, man. Pump your brakes on that one, man. They're not in the same weight class yet, man. You got to actually be in the same weight class to duck somebody. Wouldn't you say that is a fair thing to say? That the guy has to literally be in your weight class to duck him? He ain't duck him. But if he does, look, man, if he did duck him, I'd say it. You know what I mean? If he ducked him, I'd say it. I like Jamal Charlo. I think Jamal Charlo is ducking Andrade. I think that's a duck, man. Like, you guys could fight. That's a unification fight. You are clearly saying you do not want, dog. So as much as I like Jamal Charlo, that's a duck for me. Because Demetrius Andrade saying, let's make the fight. And Jamal Charlo saying, I ain't never going to fight you. That's a duck. But Regis, now, will he duck him? Let me put it this way. Devin should have, if I was Devin's promoter, my stance on it would be this. You need to make sure that you get something out of that fight. Don't take that fight if it ain't for a championship. If it's a championship, take the fight. If it is just a random let's get paid fight, no. Go elsewhere. Because that can take that'll test Devin for sure. For sure. Regis Prograis will test him. That is a tough fighter, dog. Tough fighter, man. Just like Tank. Tank better stay away from Regis Prograis. Pretty much all of them dudes. That's why I like Regis being there. And I love the fact that Regis Prograis has not gone up to 147 pounds yet. Because he's sitting there. And when Josh Taylor leaves, because Josh Taylor's an oversized dude, and those guys don't fight Regis, then we'll know. Then we'll know the real deal. You know, he already lost to Josh Taylor. If you start talking that's a duck. You know what I mean? For Division 85 said, y'all use that duck term a little liberal. Oh, yeah, they love that term, dog. Cats love to say ducking. They love to call ducking. You're ducking me, son. Don't duck me, son. But there's a lot of ducking going on, though. You know, without a doubt, there's some ducking. There's some ducking going on. And honestly, Teofimo Lopez not fighting Devin Haney, that's a duck. I do believe Teofimo Lopez. He said, okay, Mo, I can hear you. I'm not sure what that is. Look, man, that's a duck. I'm going to tell you flat out, dog. That is a duck, dog. Teofimo Lopez, don't fight Devin Haney. That's a duck. That's a belt right there. That's cleaning it up. That's getting your undisputed. That's a duck. That is a duck. Devin Haney is getting ducked right now by Teofimo Lopez. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's a duck by any definition of the word. You have a guy that is in the same weight division as you, in the same sanctioning body, that has a belt in the same sanctioning body that you have a belt in, and you're not going to fight that dude, that's a duck. The first guy and the only guy that Teofimo Lopez should be looking to fight at 135 pounds is Devin Haney, because he's got all the other belts. Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney by my definition of the word. That is absolutely positively a duck. No doubt about it. Devin Haney ain't ducking Teofimo. Teofimo is ducking Devin because Teofimo is saying I'm the WBC champion and he ain't proving it. It's easy. Fight Devin Haney. If you fight Devin Haney, then you will know you will be the undisputed champion for real. That's a duck. How is he? How is it a duck? How many belts does Teofimo Lopez have? He has 3. 3. Devin Haney has the 4th. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. It's literally the same thing. Devin's got 1 belt. Teofimo's got 3 belts. Why wouldn't you fight the guy that has the only belt that you don't have? They're the only 2 champions. They're the only 2 champions in the division. And Teofimo Lopez is claiming he's undisputed. You're not undisputed because you don't have the same belt as anybody else. You don't have the same belt he doesn't have the same belt that Josh Taylor has. Devin Haney has the same belt that Josh Taylor has. He doesn't have the same belt that Jamal Charlo has, that Canelo Alvarez has at 168, that Tyson Fury, I think I said Tyson Fury, that Gary Russell Jr. has. He doesn't have the same belt that Brandon Figueroa has. None of those guys have that belt that Teofimo Lopez has. Teofimo Lopez has a secondary belt. He has, you know what he has? He has like a champion emeritus belt. He has a belt that's similar to the belt that Vladimir Klitschko still has with the WBC. Because, he's got champion for eternity. He's got I'm the champion for eternity belt. He's got the champion for eternity belt. That ain't a real belt, man. It's a designation, man. So it's a duck. In my book, it's a duck. And that's why they called me a racist. And that's why Teofimo Lopez crew called me a racist. Because I said that. But they can use that N-word, flip it all over the place, and I'm supposed to understand they're from New York. Which I do. But I would appreciate a little bit more respect, dog. For the obvious. Exactly. 4 Divisions 85 said it is. Made to Last said, you're not racist, you're biased. I'm not either, homie. I am not either. I am not racist. I don't know what you even mean by biased. You guys just throw shit around, dog. You support fighters the same way that I support fighters. The exact same way. I listen to these guys talk about they're unbiased and they defend they have a fighter that they like and that they support. I'm biased. Against what? I'm biased against what? Just generally speaking? Like I walk down the street and I'm biased about everything? Or am I biased about something? What am I biased about? Am I biased because, I like this coffee. Oh, Fannon's just biased. He likes coffee. He's biased for coffee. What are you talking about? What am I biased about? You guys I'm telling you, you guys are just like those guys that only count 11 champions for the United States because you forget that the United States has Mexicans in it. And you forget that there are white champions from the United States that are born and raised in the United States. I'm biased about what? Everything? How is that biased? Teofimo Lopez does not have the same belt that Tyson Fury does. He just doesn't have it. Well, how's fun in the building? Look, that's not my fault. He does not have that belt. That is an objective fact. If you mean I don't use objective facts, that's horse doo-doo. You all don't use them. I stone cold use them, and you don't like where it comes out. I tell you that Deontay Wilder is a Hall of Fame level fighter, and then I tell you why, and you say you're biased. Really? How many people have 10 successful title defenses of a major championship belt and 40 knockouts that do not go to the Hall of Fame? None of them. Nobody. Every single solitary heavyweight that has defended their championship 10 times goes to the Hall of Fame. In fact, there are heavyweight champions that didn't do that and still went. Why wouldn't Deontay Wilder, based off those objective facts? I'm telling you, I will let you on here to debate me at a point, and you will not like the outcome, homie. You will not like the outcome because I am not biased. If I have an opinion, I will tell you I have an opinion. If I like somebody, I will tell you I like him and I want to win. Like, for example, Edgar Berlanga. If I mispronounce your name, forgive me. Berlanga. I like Berlanga. I want Berlanga to be a champion. I like him. I want him to win. And I'll tell you why I want him to win. I want him to win because I ain't seen no Puerto Rican champions around in the male division. They got Amanda Serrano as a female in female boxing, but I'm a fan of Puerto Rican boxing. I always rock with the top Puerto Rican boxers. I like Puerto Rican boxers. I like Camacho. I didn't like Cotto, but I like Benitez. Trinidad is my dude. I like Danny Garcia. I like Puerto Rican boxers, and I love the Puerto Rican-Mexican matchup. But there is no big Puerto Rican-Mexican matchup right now. So I'm like, man, I hope Berlanga comes through so we can get that. But when I look at Berlanga, dude, I know Berlanga is not, let me put it this way. Berlanga is not Jaron Ennis. Okay? He's not Jaron Ennis. But I like him as a fighter. And I will tell you that. That's not that. If you call that biased, okay. But if you tell me that I'm picking guys to win that aren't going to win, tell me when I did that. And I'd love to hear it. When have I ever told you that a fighter that was not good was good? Just because I liked him. Never. And you cannot find near a situation where I've done that. You know what you mean by biased. Some of you just mean the N-word. You just mean N-word. Honestly, the guys you call non-biased, all they do is insult the bias channels. Like, for real. Like, there was lists. I've seen lists where you guys go around and you say, oh, can somebody show me a non-biased channel? And they will list biased channels and they will list non-biased channels. Do you know what is almost consistent about the non-biased channels? They make videos talking about the non-biased channels, about the biased channels. Every one of them make videos attacking people that they call biased. The ones that are biased, I've never seen any of them make videos about the guys that are non-biased. You mean anti-black is what you mean. Because that's the only way that I can see that. The functional definition of what you mean. Channels that support black fighters are biased, and non-biased are channels that will attack channels that support black fighters. That's what you mean. And you don't like it. And you know why you don't like it? Because you can't deal with the fact that there's so many black boxing fans. You guys want to act like black boxing fans don't exist, but they do. So you see crowds of them in the same places, and you get upset about it. Oh my God, I can't believe there's so many racist black people supporting these fighters. Because you used to be able to talk about black fighters like dogs, and you can't do it anymore. So now, instead of calling people monkeys, you just call them biased. And the people that attack the biased channels are non-biased because they debunk the biased channels. Man, kick rocks, dog, with all that crap y'all do. Terrell Boxy said, I had to say this. It's crazy how people are uneducated, how people use words they don't know the meaning of. It's beyond me. Ha ha, Davis, exactly. Like, dear man, get out of here, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, biased about what? Because I like Deontay Wilder? Like, oh, you're so biased. You like Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I like Deontay Wilder. What's wrong with that? I'm not supposed to, but I'd be non-biased if I liked Anthony Joshua. See, do you remember all that biased conversation between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua did not pan out, homie. Y'all lost that. Biased, unbiased. Remember, nobody knew Deontay Wilder. That was your whole argument. Nobody knew Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder never fought anybody. Deontay Wilder doesn't want to fight anybody. That's what you said. Deontay Wilder just had 5 pay-per-views. 5 pay-per-views. And AJ was exactly what the biased people said he was. A hype job. AJ was exactly what the biased people said. So who was really biased? The people calling AJ an all-time great? or the people saying that AJ was a hype job? Because last I checked, AJ ain't lost all his belts for the second time. And he lost it against a massive underdog for the second time. Where's AJ? Hanging out with Eddie Reynoso, trying to figure out how to box. But you guys were unbiased when you were praising him. When we were telling you that people know Deontay Wilder, that Deontay Wilder had 1 million people watching him every fight on Showtime, which, by the way, nobody else has. To this day, nobody does the numbers that Deontay Wilder was doing on Showtime. Errol Spence, when he fought for free on Showtime, or he fought on Showtime, he didn't do 1 million. When Gervonta Davis fights on Showtime, non-pay-per-view, he doesn't do 1 million. Deontay Wilder did 1 million. And I said, this guy is known. How can you do 1 million pay-per-views? I mean, it's not a pay-per-view, excuse me. How can you do 1 million viewers on Showtime and nobody know you? Oh, you're so biased. What happened to that? He did 850 and 600,000 pay-per-views in the United States with a guy from the UK. Where's the biasness? You guys were dead wrong, and you never want to come back and fix it. But I'm biased. Even when you wind up wrong with your debunks, you debunked. There's this moron. All the dude did was make video after video after video. Every time I make a video, you make a video debunking me. I say, hey, demographics for dummies. The United States of America has probably over 50 million black fans, black Americans in the United States. 50 million. Mexicans and Latinos, 50 million. That's about 100 million. Half of those are sports fans. Half of that half are boxing fans. They're the ones that are buying the tickets. Mexicans and blacks. And do you know what you dummies did? You said I was biased. But you can't point to nobody that ain't Mexican or black that sells tickets in the United States for nothing. Name one fighter that is not Mexican or is not black that is an attraction in the United States in boxing. I'll wait. Mr. Biased, I'll wait. You'll never come up with it because it doesn't happen. But for some reason, that's not a fact. You can't even point to one. Cannot point to one. Who? And I'd love to hear it. Who? Who? Since Jerry Cooney. You ain't had one since Jerry Cooney. Ain't been one since Jerry Cooney. But I'm biased. Anyway, what happened to AJ? Really? When I would say Vasily Lomachenko is not undefeatable, what happened to Vasily Lomachenko? What happened to Vasily Lomachenko? Huh? Is he still Ali? Is he still Ali? Let me tell you what a non-biased channel is. A non-biased channel is somebody that reads ESPN, reads Ring Magazine, and repeats it. That is a non-biased channel because they will listen to exactly what they're told, and then if anybody else says anything about it, they'll make videos about them and check their record. Name one that has not done it. Name one. One of your non-biased channel that does not specifically make videos talking badly about biased channels. You will not find one because that's your whole thing. Your whole thing. And then when you get an opinion, you become biased and they start attacking you. And the same people that were loving you before go away. And it happens all the time because you are a tool to insult people that support black fighters. And that's my take on it, and it's going to stay my take on it because I can't understand how y'all don't see it. Anyway, Anthony Ortiz said, I see Skip has changed his way of thinking, so that's what we got to do with these Mr. Biased people. What are you talking about? Oh, who's Skip? He said, that just blow my mind. You can't name one. You cannot name one non-biased channel on YouTube that does not specifically make videos attacking a non-biased channel. You can't find one. Because they all do it. The functional definition, you cannot find one. Who's Skip Bayless? I ain't paying attention to all these dudes. Said bias means unfair. Yeah, bias means you're being unfair. Yeah, it's an unfair prejudice against somebody. That's a bias. When you have an unfair prejudice against somebody. That's what they claim. Dude, if you guys can tell me when I was picking fights wrong because I'm riding, just because I'm riding on somebody's coattail, please let me. I don't even know who Boxing Squared is. Don't even know who he is. But the ones that I see, every one of them. If there's some exceptions, good deal. I'm glad. Happy about it. Is Dante's Boxing Nation biased? No. Dante's Boxing Nation has an opinion about boxing. I have seen he gives his opinion. He gives his opinion. If he thinks certain way about certain people, that's his opinion. I've never thought that he had an unfair bias against somebody. I've not seen it. Just telling you. I've never seen that out of him. And I haven't listened to him in a long time, but I've never seen it. Now, he's a very good channel that talks about boxing, man, and gives his honest opinion. And I don't think anything he said has ever really been unfair. I don't think, but he's got a million videos, and I haven't watched a lot of his videos in a long time. But no, man, I don't think he's a biased channel. I don't think look, man, I think that we are boxing fans. Boxing fans. And as a fan, you have your opinion. You have guys that you support. That's what you do. We're all boxing fans. We all like watching boxing. And I'm not giving my opinion on every channel, dude. I'm not. I've not listened to 2 Wacky TV videos. I just haven't. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you this. If he has an opinion, he's a boxing fan. There is nothing wrong with having an opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. If there's a guy that loves Teofimo Lopez and he thinks Teofimo Lopez is the best fighter ever and he supports Teofimo Lopez no matter what he does, there's no problem with that, man. There's not. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. What's the problem with that? If you don't like what the man has to say, don't watch the man's channel. It's just that easy. If you don't agree with him, then you say, I don't agree with him. Leave a message. I don't agree with you. Hey, if he responds, okay, you can have a conversation. But a lot of these guys do, man. And I'm telling you, you guys will try to run people. You try to act like people are rapists because they say Deontay Wilder is known. Oh my God. Somebody knows Deontay Wilder. What? I mean, dude, for real. It's not that serious. It's not that. And are people sensational? Yeah, people are sensational, but whatever, man. Dude, it's a sport, man. It's a sport. We're not doctors. You know what I'm saying? This is not medicine where we're like, it either objectively works or it doesn't. Dude, I can think Tyson Fury is going to lose to Alexander Usyk. That doesn't make me biased. That just makes me think, hey, I think Alexander Usyk is better. Yeah, I think he's better. Dude, everybody got opinions, man. I just wish people would stop with all that nonsense, man. But anyway, Caleb Stanley said, question for Nan, you think that the reason why white people don't sell is because they all suck? Like Caleb Plant is the only one that has a little off the top? No, I'm going to tell you why they don't sell. That's why I say they don't sell. Because it takes black people, by and large, to get white people into boxing. That's what. There's a very close connection between the youth of black and white America. And whenever a black fighter pops to the top of black America, then white people watch them. And then they come and then they get a huge number. It's how it works every time. It works like that in music. It works like that in sports. It works like that in comedy. You know, it's just how it works. Like Dave Chappelle, be unknown. But as soon as black people really got behind Dave Chappelle and started talking about Dave Chappelle, then Dave Chappelle crossed over and Dave Chappelle became really, really a big thing to everybody else. Same thing with Michael Jackson. The Jackson 5s, black people loved the Jackson 5. And eventually they got so big that all of a sudden everybody started watching the Jackson 5 because our communities are so connected. Same thing with rappers. Soon as a rapper breaks out of the black community, they get popular in the white community. It's the same thing. And it happens every time, dog. And white people, by and large, the masses of them are not into boxing. They're not into boxing. They into football. They're watching baseball, football, hockey, basketball. You know what I mean? Same thing but it works that way with basketball. Once black people jump to the top of basketball, then white people who have always been entertained, and I'm telling you, this is from the time of slavery in the United States. Let me give you a little history lesson. Throughout the time, from the beginning of this country, black people have served as entertainment for the white community. Singers, dancers, athletes, all of that stuff. Love to watch us tap dance, love to watch us shoot basketball. It's not changed. And boxing is entertainment. Once somebody pops out the top, that's what you see. Then they cross over. On occasion, you'll have somebody maybe like Mike Tyson who just pops out from the beginning on everybody. You know? Say Dave Chappelle, DC stand up. Exactly, man. Dave Chappelle is huge, but Dave Chappelle, it was the Dave Chappelle show. And the black comedy that he did on that really popped him out the top, man. You know what I mean? CJ Cap said, we're the entertainment. Once we leverage it that way, we'll get a lot more power. I mean, you know, that's just how I see it. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. But look, man. Oh, let me see. FSU OKC said Michael Jackson is one human being I've never heard anyone talk bad about. Everyone loved him. Great musician, artist all time. Man, that dude right there said, oh, thanks, Fannon. Love that answer. Hey, man, no worries, man. But that's it. It's not that white people can't fight. You know, it's just, and that's the thing about black folk. There is no black boxer. And once a black boxer breaks into like the mainstream and really solidifies himself as the best black fighter in the world, then you'll see them cross over and expand. That's what Floyd Mayweather Jr. did when he beat Oscar De La Hoya. Because Oscar De La Hoya was the big name. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was fighting him. Once Floyd Mayweather Jr. crossed that plateau and everybody knew he was the best fighter in the world, that's when he started. That's when he got all the accolades. That's when he got all that stuff, man. Then and only then. But look, man, it's 10 o'clock. Let me get out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Davis and Andrade, I don't really have time to. I watch my own channel. I watch my channel. I watch BFTB's live stream for maybe 15 minutes a day. But other than that, I work and then I do videos. You know what I mean? And plus, I don't want to get into all that drama. There's a lot of drama in between channels and stuff that I just can't take, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Oh, Division, can I get my wrench back? Yeah. Hold on. For our last thing I'll do, get you that wrench, dude. All right, man, you wrenched up. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.